Greetings, one and all. I'm Kerrik52, and we have landed on Cortex Island. The end is literally in sight. But unlike the other islands, this one is really dense with levels, so we have our work cut out for us. Now we have these things. Fun fact, I believe they recycled these as the 3D projectors in Crash 2, which is fun to me. Especially since that's where I recognized them from. I didn't play this one first. What have I got? Wow, there's a lot of gimmick going around here. Also, secrets. What have I got? And another bonus level. So as you can see, I reloaded my save, which has now eliminated all of my extra lives. Why did I do that? Well, you gotta do it sometimes. It's fun to see number go up. The life economy doesn't really matter to me much, since the game isn't, you know, bustedly hard. They also don't put a harsh limit on lives either, which some games are known to do. 99 you get pretty far with, I feel. So if I remember correctly, these hover things are just an obstacle, they're not an enemy. Those things you can do away with though. Pretty easily, in fact. They're kinda just here to look cute. Same for those Goomba-esque things. Not worth the risk, thank you. Now we know! Why are you even there? Really straightforward level, all things considered. Though I'll take a nice little warm-up after what we did last time. That's the thing about, like, difficult games. Once you get used to them well enough, they are kind of relaxing, but it depends. There is this threshold of stress, I feel, certain games pass, where it can still be difficult, but manageable. But as soon as you have to, like, manage multiple things at once, it just can... Oh, come on, give me my 52%. Oh well, that's what the gem is for. And I know I joked about it earlier, I think, about calling this the Dark Souls of platformers, which is a real article, or a review, or whatever you can find somewhere. And, the whole, like, difficulty discourse is never ending, really. I'm usually on the sicko side of just liking me a good challenge from time to time. But I, of course, have my own limits, and everyone else has their personal ones. For the Insane Trilogy, lifting the death requirement from Crash 1 is about as much as I would like to see for this game. Since it is perfectly responsive, and it's only mean in a couple of places, truly. If you haven't watched, I did cover Castlevania on the channel, and that game is a real ballbuster, and has a couple of stress points here and there. But a lot of that is also to the credit of the design, since you have the freedom to pick your sub-weapon and prepare accordingly. Here things are a lot more straightforward, which I think I read some criticism for this game when it was new on Wikipedia. That said that the game is maybe too simple or doesn't do anything new. And that's an evergreen problem in design, especially as damn it! Well, you get the picture. Not much left to do there. What was I saying? Yeah, about like appeal versus adhering to your vision. And some developers, like say Itagaki of Ninja Gaiden fame, are just assholes and should be stopped. Whilst others, I feel, are a lot more medicated in their design. And as a consumer, you just have to find your balance of, like, okay, I trust these game makers and I trust these reviewers, and then sort of just navigate the difficulty discourse that way. Hell yeah. I'll save the save for later. As a sort of natural endpoint of that, there is also Crash 4, which is just ridiculous. It's fun, but it's just, wow. Kinda got lost in the 20 years between games there. So, this is a nice and relaxing level for me, because I don't have the gem for it. Which means I don't have to care about how complicated this level actually is.
What have I got?
Whoops. This is the level where split paths finally, well, matter, really. They appeared in the first level, but they don't really do much until now. And here's something fun. Yeah, this is basically Uncharted, right? Cover-based shooting. Well, spinning. So, I didn't play much of Crash 4. I beat it, I had my fill, and then my PS Plus ran out. I have since rebought the game, but I haven't really felt the desire to go for the big old 100%, because that turns the game into a RPG in length. And that's just ridiculous. We've had a fair few super long platformers here and there, especially Mario Odyssey is pretty chunky. But for the exact thing that Crash does, of being, you know, very stage-based and 2.5D, you don't get games that are like that, of that length. And I understand how they arrived at the idea of, yeah, we'll just put in a bunch of extra content. Make the game 60 hours long, worth everyone's money. It's a bit of a conundrum trying to update a PS1 game like this. Because the standard design doesn't really fly. Because, you know, this is a 2-hour game if you're really good at it, and how bad is it? Okay, I get the picture. Damn. Maybe the Japanese version was right to cut out that part. And here's our final level of the set, which is actually a spin on the temple level from earlier. Now, don't trust these pictures of Cortex, they will kill you. It's clever foreshadowing, telling you how dangerous he is. This level can be a bit of a struggle, but it's not the worst, and we do get a colored gem out of the ordeal, so that's cool. But the only trick to it is this section here, which is not as mean as I remember it being. Because this is a big floating platform, but it gives you a ton of time. So it's not that bad. If anything, this stuff is harder. So as far as like concept reuse, this is a big success of level design, I feel. Because playing it, it's basically the same as the Dark Temple level. But you can see it's black smoke instead. And we have a lot more enemies messing around too. Still gotta do the perspective shit here. But you get used to it. Pretty early, I'd say. Good to have a bonus round already. As I said before, you can exploit this to skip the remainder of the level if you want to. But why give up on a perfectly good gem? Second bit here should be a bit more difficult though, but I came prepared. I have a mask and everything. What have I got? So I went out of my way to reset my lives, and I've already gotten 21 of them. So you can recover pretty quickly. And I think that was the intent with the reset, of just encouraging you to do like a decent session of like 4 to 5 levels maybe, and then recover that way. Still, I'm glad this went away when they transitioned to normal saving in 2. Feels better to spend lives there too, since you can get away with dying in levels and still get the gem. Bit scary. Nice and slow. Easy enough. Now, obviously, graphical limitations and all, but what do you think they were trying to actually achieve with these screens? Is he in a swing set? Is he under medication? Like, is he vibing? What is he trying to do? This feels a bit mean, doesn't it? Danger! Safety first. CEO Pinstripelli Portorotti. Sounds like the name of someone whose ass we should kick. Finally, the orange gem. This is used for, what is it? The first river level, I think. Slowly but surely. Let's grab a save. And that's our lot. Next time, we deal with some toxic waste. This is a fun question mark level? Until then, farewell.